Hello, today we're solving a problem. Do you guys remember the recent videos I've made about the Nissan GTR wheels coated in Porsche silver? I had them on my Infiniti M45 and I put them on the Infiniti Q50 as well. Well, the tires are going to need to be dismounted so that I can address a problem with the wheels. Whenever I mounted these wheels, well, I should have known that there was trouble because I couldn't mount them very well. I was having issues and the wheel caps couldn't get on very well. What happens with the wheel caps is that when they put the powder coat, sometimes they put it so heavy such that nice. This hole here ends up becoming a little too tight. So this wheel was okay, not a big problem. But I do have other wheels and I can't remember. Well, that one looks mighty thick, so that might be the one where the wheel caps were in there really tight, or rather, it's in there really tight and it's not even sitting properly. Is this the one? Ooh, wow. This might or might not be the one. I'm not really sure. Let me pick this up first. That flew all the way out there. Is this it? Let's look at the third one here. That wasn't too tight, but I can see what looks like a lot of grind. Yeah, this is the one. This was the worst wheel, and I'll explain. It's not about the wheel cap in itself, but the tightness of the wheel cap was an indicator as to what other issues I was gonna have, and I'll explain it in a bit. So I'll set this one here. Do you see all that stuff? Yep, that was me grinding I got my little Dremel and just ground out here so that I could get enough room to fit it in there. Okay, that's the other one. Let's go to the fourth wheel. Pull the wheel cap out. Wow, that's tight. It's really tight in there. To attack it from the other side. Okay. I don't think this one was that bad, but as I said, we're still going to look at it. And I've hinted at this, that it's not so much what problems I face in the front, because wheel caps can be dealt with. Can you see how thin this looks, right? You can see the JL, right? Whatever. Look at this one here. You can barely make it out. So the powder coat on this wheel was just so thick. See, you can make out the engraving there, right? So the problem though, the bigger problem is the back side. Let me show you what the back side looks like. This was a good wheel. Whenever I put this one in the front, everything worked out well. It balanced out pretty well. They had to use a lot of weights to balance it out, as you can see, but it is balanced, right? Balance is balance, right? Okay, set this off to the side. Second wheel. A decent number of strips to balance it out, but it balanced out. And if I haven't hinted out to what I'm looking at, is this. Do you see the brown, the rust, or whatever it is? That what you're seeing here is what the wheel ends up when the wheel makes contact with the hub. So this pattern right here is what you're seeing here. So far these two have been fine. Okay, let's go to, I'm gonna save this one for last. Let's look at this one here. Okay, now if you look at this carefully, you'll notice that there are some parts that don't seem to have the rust, the wear, right? Look at this one here. There's a little bit of it, I'd say more or less uniform. This one here, there's a part that did not get the rust. This one here, the top did not get it. This one here, got a little bit of that did not get in contact. This one here, there's a portion of it that did not get in contact. What that means is that this wheel, when I bolted it down, it was not flush against the hub. So that means, this is very exaggerated, but if you're installing it and it's not 100% like this, if you're installing a wheel like this, crooked, then it's going to be wobbly as you drive down. And initially, by chance, I had installed this on the front, and so my steering wheel was shaking. I'm thinking, I just balanced these wheels, I looked at all the weights and everything, what's wrong with it? So I do it exactly just as a means of troubleshooting. I moved this to the rear to check it out, and sure enough, the shakiness stopped on the steering wheel, but then my rear end was a little as shaky as it was. So this one here, not the best. As you can see here again, I came in with my angle grinder because I was trying to, there's so much powder coat that, you know, the coating is so thick that even this part, it had a little bit of a hard time going over the hub board, the center right here. See this part right here? That usually gets in contact with the inner circle right there. Okay, so that's number 3. Saving the best for last, this one here. Remember, this is the one that had very thick coating in front. And I guess, I don't know if this was the first wheel that we're doing or the last wheel, but look at the back. Look at how, you can almost already see it because everything is so soft, it's barely, you know, there's not much definition, no sharp corners or anything, you know. And then, when you look at the wear pattern, or at least look at the corrosion pattern, this is where I had contact with the hub, with the rotor. Here, here, all this other part was not in contact. That means this part right here is so high. This one here, barely any contact. No contact here, some contact here, diagonal. So basically this wheel, again, just like the other one, whenever I bolted it down, it was not mounting as perfectly as possible. So I have to make amends. And it's kind of sad because it's a pretty good color, but this is what I've learned about powder coating, especially since this was done by somebody else. I bought these wheels just like that, and, you know, I guess, how do you even verify that? You know, should have gone with a straight edge, I guess, and the level. I bought them at night. I mounted tires on them, and then after mounting tires on these, well, I had a shop do it, I installed them on my car at night. So the things I couldn't really see very well. I was pretty busy at the time. But once I mounted them again, I would look at this and, you know, wonder, like, why do I have gaps in certain areas? Yes, there's a little bit of a hump over here, because you'll notice that the GTR wheel has, this part is just a little higher than this part. But I was looking at it thinking, well, there's barely any clearance here, but on some of these spokes or these humps, you know, you could slide like a credit card pretty deep in there. So there's an issue. Thankfully, well, hopefully they're not cracked. I did not see any hidden cracks come up through the powder coat, but I guess a little worried about the quality. I feel like that is part of the reason why some of them needed so much weight, just because the powder wasn't laid on very well. Maybe whoever did the job was learning. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but what I'm going to do is take these wheels, have the tires removed, take the wheels to my powder coater, and then I'll have them basically start afresh. So I will probably pick a different color. The Porsche Silver was very, very silver, very whitish looking, and I don't know, maybe just switch it up. We'll see what happens, but yeah, so these are my front wheels, GTR front wheels that I'll be working with. I just wanted to share that. I know it is a little vlogish. I didn't know how the video was going to go, but I wanted to share with you guys that this is usually one of those debates that people have. Should you put powder coat on the rear or not? You know, and in my case, I did my best to grind. This was my Dremel just eating away at the thick powder over here, to a point I decided, you know what, I can't do it. I don't know if I'll be able to do it straight, but look at how thick this is, right? So my powder coater, what he usually does back here, he just dusts over. You can see the color a little bit, but he does not coat it, you know, like this one right here. This is fully coated. So this one did not work out very well. And I'd seen other spots too where I felt like the powder was really thick. One of the barrels, there's a part, I just looked at it and just felt like that looks so caked on. Yeah, but so, yeah, for that reason, if it was normal color that I wouldn't really be concerned about. I'd just take that one wheel or those two wheels. But at this point, might as well just take the whole set and have it looking uniform, you know? Okay, that's all for now. Hope it makes sense, and I hope that helps you in case you bought some powder coated wheels and things just were not working out. Sometimes it's a craftsmanship that's lacking, okay? Later.